Hello, and welcome once again to another live session here on LinkedIn. And we're all here to see the book. Here it is. Get your hands on one of these soon. Release date is 24th of July. All good stuff going on in there. But let's crack on with what I've got to talk to you about today, which is the professional growth and growth of the future. Which, of course, if I switch over to here, then you can see the cunning death by PowerPoint that I've done for you this time. Part 3, Confident Contractor. So the last couple of videos I've covered the parts 1 and 2 of the book, and so we're now on to part 3. So what happens in part 3 is your professional growth once you are a contractor and the future. So how do you grow as a contractor? You're on this side of the fence. Welcome, and you're in a gig. Sweet, but it doesn't stop there. What happens after that gig ends? So in order to help you transition onto your next gig is the importance of building a network. How to grow your network, how important it is. The more people you know, the more you hear about, right? And so I'll go into some effective networking strategies where you can make sure that you have meaningful relationships with good people in your network, and because people love to deal with people they like. And so talking with other people is how you're going to evolve your personal knowledge, as well as learning about other technical difficulties that people might be having, future trends, all sorts of news like that, which can then help you grow your career. But how do people hear about you? Or marketing yourself as a contractor. One of the exercises I'll go through is when somebody says, "What do you do?" you'll have an answer ready for them, so that when they introduce you to somebody else, because you're growing your network, they know what you do. It's all very well you're saying a contractor, I'm an IT contractor, but that means so little to somebody that's in the IT contracting game. It's like, well, what specifically do you look after, for instance? Sometimes it might call for putting on a presentation. I've done numerous even presentations, at live events. Before COVID, we used to go out to pubs and bars and some shared workspaces and actually put on a technical presentation, where I can display my skills, and you can do the same too. But where do those skills come from? Of course, it's the continuous professional development. What's coming next? A couple of years ago, everyone was going Kubernetes crazy. Right now, they're going AI crazy. I'm already looking forward to see what the next trend, fashion, tech is going to be. It's not going to be very long now, because these things always go in cycles. So next year, we'll still be talking about AI a little bit. In the same way that we're still drinking cider a little bit, but then next year after that it will be something else. What is that something else? And so you need to keep your eye on the trends and the adaptation of yourself in order to keep up to speed with all of these things. And once a trend is established, then maybe it might help getting a certification in that thing, as well as developing your skills in that area. How many of you got Kubernetes certificates right now? And how many of you have actually worked on a Kubernetes project? Two completely different things. And so I'm from the school where certificates are useful to get you noticed, but it's not until you get into the nitty-gritty that you actually understand the thing. And so you've got to balance that with your professional growth, as long as your personal growth. As a person, let's not get away from that work-life balance. You will want to do things in your life. I can tell you lots of things that I've done, jumping out of planes, flying helicopters, and those sort of things that I want to get out of life, because we're only living one day at a time. And so that's a balance against what you want to do personally, maybe grow a family, keep them safe, all of those good things, as well as the personal drive in order to stay up to date with all of the tech. And then we switch into another chapter. Advanced contracting skills. So one of the advanced contracting skills is understanding client expectations, because clients often don't know what they want, and so you need to be able to understand what they're expecting of you and to be able to guide them in the right direction so that when you deliver what you think they want, it is actually the same thing that they want. In order to achieve this, you need to have effective communication and effective relationships. So here I am again talking about those interpersonal relationships, and I know as a techie I struggle with this quite a lot. But I've got some techniques that I use in order to help bridge that gap, and maybe they'll work for you too. And then really on the top end of an advanced contracting skill is managing multiple contracts. Maybe as a personal level you want to run an agency, and an agency is really you and some others, and not just one contract but multiple contracts. And so on your own you can start to build the skills about managing multiple contracts, and that's interesting and important if you want to go in that direction. And so then what happens in the future? Once you've been a contractor for so long, that might be uncomfortable for you and you want to move on to the next step. So perhaps you branch out into consulting, creating your own consultancy. Or perhaps you're going to find yourself in a situation where you've got a load of money sitting in the company account. Maybe you in an even more fortunate situation where you've got a load of money sitting in your personal accounts. What can you do with that money so that it's safe but also works for you? And then maybe if you've done some investing, or maybe you've got to the stage where you've built a consultancy, you can start thinking about exiting contracting altogether. Maybe you want to exit into that consultancy, or maybe you want to take the other leap at the end and just retire altogether. But there's some gotchas and there's some things that you need to know about before you do that. So you can catch up with all of this stuff in the book. It's coming soon, the 24th of July. And if you're looking at becoming a contractor, we can also help you with that. Before you get your hands on the book, take our quiz. I'll ask you some questions to see how ready you are. And we'll send you a copy of the DevOps book, which is that one there, if I can point correctly. That's the technical skills about what DevOps does. And then the 24th of July, we can then send you the new book, which tells you how to get into contracting and how to manage your contracting journey as it goes. So thanks very much for joining me, and I shall see you soon.